Lately, you were working on projects where you had to actually write about African dance, I guess, outside of Africa, in the Americas, right? So capoeira will be into that category. This is an art form that was developed in Brazil, and the African slaves coming from mainly Central Africa, and scholars believe that mainly from the region of Angola in Africa, developed this art form in Brazil. As you said, it's a mixture of dance, martial art, and music. The first part we're going to go through right now is the music. This is the main instrument of capoeira. In Brazil, they call this a berimbau. Berimbau. But you can find the exact same instrument, you know, right now, today in Africa, in Angola. They call it rungu, you know. That's the way you can see that, you know, things comes from somewhere. They just pop out, you know, out of the blue. It comes from, this instrument is an African instrument. You go to Gabon or Cameroon in Africa, they have the same kind of instrument with different boards of different size and different strings, and they play like harps, called invet, right? So this is an African instrument that traveled to the Americas via slavery. In Brazil, they call it berimbau, and in Angola, they call it rungu, right? So yes, some people say that capoeira looks like dance because the slave didn't want their master to know that they were training for martial art, to run away from plantations, because you actually had slaves that were very successful at running away from plantation and actually establishing their own states in Brazil that they call quilombos, and they use capoeira, you know, to defend themselves, or maybe get rid of oppression. They use that martial art. So some people say it looks like dance because they didn't want their master to know what they were doing. You know, they couldn't go to church on Sundays with the masters, even though Christianity or Catholicism was imposed on them. They couldn't go to church with their masters on Sundays. So what they will do, they get in circles like this among Africans or slaves, and they just play music and dance. But the master didn't know that when this guy is singing and he's saying, oh, I love Saint Benedict or Saint Nicholas, this guy is thinking about an African god, right? So that's where the syncretism came in place. And those people were training martial art, but it looks like dance, so the masters were not scared of it at first, but then they realized that those people are actually willing to run away and utilize this stuff to hurt us. So it became outlawed until the beginning of the 20th century. Capoeira was outlawed in Brazil. When I say beginning of the 20th century, I mean like 1920s. Like people would catch African people doing capoeira, what we're about to do, they go to jail, or they beat them up, or sometimes they disappear. We don't know where